Today is February 24 and it's 4 o'clock, so please call the order.
Chairperson. Oh, this isn't working. This one isn't. It's green. Oh, there we go. Chairperson Wani Garza.
Here.
Vice Chair Ted Masiacos.
Present.
Alderman John Lash.
Present.
Alderman Brandon Tolliver.
Here.
Alderman Daniel Barreiro.
Here.
5 present.
Okay. First thing, approval of the minutes, 250138 from February 11, 25.
10.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman John Lash, second Alderman Dan Barreiro. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0. Thank you. Public comments?
No, we do not.
Okay. Okay, oops, sorry. The first item on the agenda is 25-0143, a resolution awarding the 2025 sanitary sewer CIPP lining to National Power Holding Corp. And the amount of $894,315, 0 cents.
Good afternoon, Kurt Muth with the Engineering Division. This is a project that we bid out typically beginning of every year. Allows us to line sewers that have some defects such as cracks or offset joints, maybe small holes in the pipe, and by lining it, it avoids having to dig up the sewer and do a costlier dig repair. So we try and proactively take care of these with this method. These are identified with the sewer televising contract that we brought forward at the last meeting. So we put it out for public bid, got 4 bids. National Power Rotting was the low bidder, and the cost of the project's pretty close to in line with what we do in a normal year, about $900,000. Be happy to answer any questions.
Madam Chair.
Question?
I have a question.
Yeah?
So I looked at the bid tab, and I can understand the, the different size of the pipes. But I had a question on what is the lateral reinstatement on line 18?
So when they install the liner, it goes over all the service connections. So after the liner cures and hardens, they have to send a mechanical rover in that'll cut out where that lateral for the service liners ties into the pipe so that they can then flow back into the pipe. So you pay for each one of those to be cut out. So that's what that line item takes care of.
Okay, thank you.
Other question? No? I have questions. In the repairs, so you have the map in here. So some is for second ward is the number 2, is what I saw. So when they start the construction in here or the replacement in the sewer, so they want to notice the neighbors, right? What's going on in there?
Yeah, so they do several liners a day. So it's a pretty quick operation. Usually takes probably 3 or 4 hours. It depends on the length of the liner and the size. But they will notify the homeowners a day or 2 in advance and ask them to limit their water use during the installation because they're actually blocking the pipe opening for that time period. And then once it's reinstated, it will flow. But usually the lateral is long enough and the flow is limited enough that it can handle holding that flow temporarily. So
Yeah. So it want to be only hours?
correct.
Okay, good. Yeah, because people start, when they start working in there, so right away they make phone calls. So what's going on, how long they want to take and all that. Okay, I'm glad they want to take too much time. Okay, other questions, comments?
Motion to approve?
Motion approved by
Second.
Alderman Lash.
Second.
Second, Alderman Tolliver. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0. Thank you. Next item is 25-0162, a resolution to award the Kingsway Drive in Kingwold Place water main replacement project located in Ward 5 to Gerardi Sewer and Water Company and the bid amount of $1,048,465.00.
So this project has been identified as a potential water main replacement for a while. It has had a separate CIP, and a couple things kind of pushed it towards early construction this year. You may be familiar, there's a new development just to the west of this intersection of Kingsway and Kenilworth. And we worked with a developer to have their water main stop just short of where we're going to construct the new water main, and we'll make that final connection as part of this project. So there's currently a dead end there, and we'd like to get this done before any of those houses get occupancy permits and get started. And this area also has a history of break issues, so that's another reason why we're pushing for it. We are looking at replacing approximately 30 lead water services too as part of this project. Girardi Sewer and Water was one of 10 bids. We had a lot of interest in this project, and they have historically been the low bidder on 1 or 2 projects every year for the past 5 years, so we're definitely confident they can complete the work.
Okay, also, how long time they want to take in this one to replace the water main?
This project looks like about 2,000 feet of water main. We're probably looking at 2.5 months, 2.5 months for the project.
Right, so also they want to let it know to the neighbors in the area, right?
Yeah, typically after today's meeting is when we send out the construction notices pending city council approval, and also give them a heads up that we're looking to replace the lead water services.
Okay. Questions, comments? Yes?
Sure, just 2 quick questions. Thank you, Madam Chair. On the lead line replacements, that'll be coordinated separately, a separate cost that we've already approved, correct?
This one is included in this cost.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes.
And so is that using local money or is that using the federal grant?
This one is using the local money.
Okay. And then my second question was, we're going into the new development area. Does this run all the way up to the new development, or how far does it go? I assume we're adding some sort of joint connection.
We had them install a valve just outside of the intersection. And the reason why we didn't have them connect during their project was because they would have had to shut down the water main and impact the neighbors, and there was real no benefit. It wasn't worth the disturbance to the neighbors. So we would have had to install a valve that we saved on our project, so we worked with them to make it work for both of us.
Okay, and with the development, that's all going to be an SSA-funded water and sewer, I'm guessing?
It was part of their development.
Okay, so they'll pay, the developer will pay for it?
It's already installed and ready for us to.
Oh, is it?
connect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I have a question. So you had mentioned that this project was in the CIP for a while. So are all the other big projects like this listed in the CIP? So is that something we could look up if we had questions on what other projects like this were online for this year?
So we have a few projects listed separately. In the 10 years I've been here, we have not listed out projects. So this was actually a holdover from over 10 years ago. So this has been hanging on there for a while, and between the new development and some recent breaks, it pushed it to the top of our
Right,
replacement
because
list.
normally you have like a big
pot.
of
Yes.
projects, and there's projects within that. and-
Because we evaluate the breaks every year, and a lot of times the replacements are driven by the breaks that happen over the winter just previously. So it's nice to have that flexibility to react to projects that become hot issues with the recent breaks.
Yeah, it's just helpful, I think, for residents to know, hey, this is on the board, it's coming, you know, so, thank you.
More questions, comments?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Alderman Tolliver.
Second.
Second, Alderman John Lash. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 3-0. Thank you. Next item is 25-0163, a resolution to award the Broadway Avenue Sewer Separation Project located in Ward 4 to Performance Construction and Engineering LLC and the bid amount of $3,338,777.
So the project corridor for this section is at the south end of Broadway in town, from Hazel Avenue up to North Avenue. It's more of a residential section, south of North Avenue. The majority of the sewer in that section is a combined sewer. There is a little bit of storm sewer that we would be improving and expanding on to help with drainage. Sometimes at the intersection of Evans, there's a few inlets that, with the amount of flow that gets to it and the amount of leaves, they tend to clog easily and cause ponding in that area. So we're looking at adding additional inlets to try and prevent that. This project was originally slated for possibly 2026, but we were notified late last fall that IDOT intends to resurface this area this year. So luckily we already had the survey work done and jumped on the design and are currently working with IDOT to get it done this spring ahead of the overlay so that IDOT can come back in the fall and overlay the section. It does include about 100 water services that we suspect are lead that need to be replaced. And so we're trying to get all this work done so that we'll have a nice brand new roadway section through this portion. It'll probably be our biggest sewer separation job of the year. We might have a couple other little small ones, but this will probably take the majority of the budget. We did have 4 bids, with Performance Construction Engineering being the low bidder, and they've performed several similar type projects over the years, so I'm confident they can perform the work.
So at the time they do the separation of the sewer, so on Broadway, how will it be the traffic? So they want it direct to another direction or another street they can use? Because this area is it's just almost one line, south and one line north. How they want to do it in there to control the traffic?
It's a good question. I've been trying to work with IDOT on the permitting and what they'll allow us to do. Actually, just got review comments back like 3:28 this afternoon, and I didn't have enough time to look at them to see what they're going to allow us to do if it involves a detour or flagging during construction. Depending on the activity, we may need 2 lanes to have the machine and stage the truck, which may limit us to 1 lane, which would lead to flagging, or may look at a detour route. Once I get more direction from IDOT, we'll decide what we can.
Yeah, because probably they want to take a little bit time to finish that, and I think if we take the tour, the traffic to maybe other street in the east or in the west, maybe, I don't know, idea.
Even if we could detour one direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be up to IDOT probably.
Okay. Questions, comments? Yes?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just quick, it's a pretty big project that's going to shut stuff down for a bit. I know we require them to have insurance if anybody's vehicles get damaged, if that's correct. Do we communicate that when we send our letter out?
We do to the local residents, but a lot of times the vehicles that get damaged are ones that are driving through the site from
Right.
people that aren't located in the project.
The 2 complaints I've got were from residents that lived in the area, so.
Okay.
Just,
Yeah.
so those residents will get some sort of notification about the process and
Yeah,
procedure.
and we include the contractor's name in our notification too, and then our contractors are pretty responsive when we ask them to follow up with the homeowner on any claims as far as vehicles. So
Okay.
haven't had too much of a history with unresponsive contractors in that regard.
And then we're doing the lead there. Is that funded also through local resources or through the federal grant?
Correct. Both of these 2 projects were located outside of the 3 census tracts that were approved in the IPA.
Okay,
contract.
got it.
So,
Thank you.
Other questions, comments?
Motion to approve.
Motion
Second.
approved by Alderman Tolliver, second Alderman Lash. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is 25-0164, a resolution authorizing the Director of Purchasing to purchase a 1-year renewal of DocuSign Contract Life Cycle Management, CLM, subscription from Cara Soft Technology Corporation of Reston Virginia, for amount not to exceed $94,720.80.
Good afternoon, Chairperson Garza, members of the committee, Jeff Anderson, Deputy CIO. This is another renewal, a one-year renewal of the DocuSign agreement that we've been using since 2020, during COVID when we started using this. We took last year and went through and built what we'll call a center of excellence and trained many of our departmental staff. So what we're expecting to see here now is an acceleration of use, especially now the new website's up. We can start pushing some of these forms out to some of the residents and make it a little more outward facing, if you will, and not just be in internal documents we're processing. So that was the goal from last year. We're down, so the cost is actually about $25,000 less this year because that training and the building of all that's not included in this. We're now just going to pay per use, based on how many envelopes, how many documents we have signed.
Alderman Barreiro is out, right? So questions? Okay, questions?
Just a quick question. With the training, how many departments are up and fully using DocuSign?
That's a good question, and there'll be various various depths to that, right? I think everybody has at least one that they brought to department. I think you're going to have the finance department and some of the others are using a lot more than others, but I don't have the numbers exactly in hand here. I do know that what I put in the ledge star here. I think we've got about what we have here. Since 2023, about 19,000 documents we pushed through the process. So,
But every department has a trained staff personnel. at
yes,
least one
everyone
that's-
does.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was the goal of this past year.
No further questions, Madam Chair?
Okay. Other questions?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, motion approved by Alderman Lash, second Alderman Tolliver. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion passed, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is 25-0170, a resolution authorizing memorandum of understanding with the Fox Valley Music Foundation for the calendar year of 2025.
Good afternoon, Council. Mike Nelson, Community Events Director. This is just our annual MOU with the Fox Valley Music Foundation, AKA The Venue. We offer them multiple dates to utilize Mundy Park throughout the year, primarily throughout the summer, the warmer months. They host outdoor concerts and whatnot. It keeps Mundy Park utilized, and it's a great thing to have in downtown.
Okay. So when they do in the Wally Mandy, so they want to have in advance the calendar. It's good to know because a lot of other people want to do something
Sure.
over here in the Water Street Mall.
Sure.
And sometimes when the music is there, so it's kind of interfere the hours. So that's good to know if we can have the calendar
Yeah, of
for the
course.
events in
Yeah.
advance time.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yep. Like I said, the Fox Valley Music Foundation only utilizes this property a handful of times a year. But it is, like I said, a very nice thing to have. They provide outdoor music. It fills the space, fills the air of downtown with great music. And I've got Karen Fouts here with the Music Foundation. She's wonderful. We really enjoy working with them. We've got a great relationship with the venue, with the Fox Valley Music Foundation.
Right. Questions, comments?
Motion to approve?
Motion approved by
Second.
John Lash. Second. Tolliver, Alderman Tolliver? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you so much.
Motion to
Okay.
adjourn?
Motion adjourned by John Lash,
Second.
second Alderman Tolliver. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion adjourned at 4:19 p.m. Thank you.